My name is Kanahus I'm from the Secwepemc and the Tanaka Nations in so-called British Columbia, Canada. We do organizing with the Native Youth Movement. The Native Youth Movement is a movement and it's a warrior society fighting for our freedom. Our end goal is freedom, so we use different tactics to get to this goal.
My name is Dustin Johnson from the Tsimshian Nation, from the Giswatwada Kilauea clan, and I'm involved in different groups and different movements to bring about a level of freedom that our peoples do not have, trying to bring back our culture and our spirituality, and trying to live a true life as a Luiget. I work with anti-Olympic struggle, I work with Warrior Alliance, I work with Native Youth Movement, I work with Tsimshian Guardians, and I work with a few other groups. The Olympics represent a worldwide opportunity and threat for our enemy to further steal our lands and further put a blanket cloud of deception over our peoples, just pull the wool over our eyes a lot more. And it's an opportunity for us to show the world, that our peoples still have a fire living inside of us, and that as long as we're breathing, we're still remaining true to our values, we are not going to be washed out.
Unceded lands is that we never gave up our we never gave up our land. We never gave it up to any type of foreign government. Like when Great Britain first came over to our land, we never made no type of land treaty or anything with them. Like we never gave up our land. They never got it by war or anything. So this land is just being invaded upon and being occupied by other people, like mainly white people. The ski resorts, well, there's many ski resorts in the so-called province of British Columbia. Right from the Washington state border right up to the Yukon Territory in Alaska is all mountains. So this is what they want to get investors from all over the world, Austria, Japan, all these different countries to come and develop whole entire ski resorts in the mountains, which become all seasons resorts. So what we are fighting against the Sun Peak Ski Resort, which is right in our backyard, and they want to develop 5 entire mountains, and they clear-cut runs in the mountains, and they start building infrastructure, golf courses, and all this real estate, homes and homes and homes, and that's how they make their money. It's not really the ski resort industry. People want to buy a condo or something in a resort town smack dab in the middle of the mountains where there's still deer and moose. They could go for a hike and see the wild animals. And this is what rich people coming from the States, all these different areas to come to our land to see the beauty of it. But they don't realize that it's destroying our hunting grounds, it's destroying our medicine grounds. So we've been fighting against the Sun Peak Ski Resort in particular, and we've had over 70 arrests. There's a lot of other things that, they're blasting out this whole area, clear-cutting whole grizzly bear habitat. So those are the homes of the animals and the birds and the grizzly bears. It was really important for all of our people. And so it's not just humans that it's affecting animals, and it's affecting our water, and it's affecting our whole way of life, how we depend on the land. So if you could imagine, it's like the worst type of city streets that you've ever seen in that one block area in downtown Eastside, Vancouver, Maine, and Hastings. In that one block area, it has the highest crime rate, highest drug rate, highest murder rate in all of North America. That one square block in downtown Eastside of Vancouver. People are just openly shooting up heroin. There's 8-year-old native prostitutes. Like, all of these things are, can't even imagine how it looks. And then right from that one block, you walk over to the next block and it's, glass high-rises with men in business suits and, briefcases. Like, it's from night and day, the difference between night and day, and they're trying to gentrify that whole area, but the Vancouver Police Department's right smack dab right there in Skid Row, and they're pretty well the ones that are controlling everything. They're the ones that are making this whole system of drugs, alcohol, guns, murder prostitution all continue.
And people living in those areas, it's only going to get worse. You can't achieve a meaningful change by that. And with people, with corporations coming in and invading the lands and displacing all these people, it's just going to make it worse. It's going to intensify, and these people are going to be pushed to the brink and pushed to the edge, and there'll be nowhere else to turn. They'll have to confront, because nothing will change if they do not stand up.
There they have a whole strip of low-income hotels, and instead of evicting the people from the hotels, or like giving them 24 or like a month or 2 months notice for them to move out, they just won't do no type of upgrades on the buildings. So it's not up to building codes. So they'll give them 24 hours to be out of these rooms. So the only places that they could afford to rent. So at any given time, there'll be like hundreds of people evicted from one low-income hotel, and a third to half of them are all Native Indigenous people.
Like a lot of people in the downtown east side, about a third of them are Native peoples, and they're not all drug addicts or heroin addicts. A lot of them are they've been in a bad situation. Some of them have just been in the wrong place in the wrong time. Because of the racist system, they've ended up there because of all these different factors. So some people are just trying to find a means to survive, and I want to see our peoples achieve a healthier life than that. We don't want just to survive. We want to achieve the greatness that our ancestors had. We want to bring that back, bring that way of living back.
And that was one of the elders, Harriet Nahaney, was defending that area from being blasted out for this highway, and she stood there and she blocked that development, but she was arrested, and she was 73 years old, Pachidat grandmother. She was arrested, and she was given a 14-day sentence, and she served 11 days, and she got really sick in jail. It's a men's prison that they put her in, and she got sick, and when she got out, she had to go. She was in critical condition in the hospital, and she ended up passing away. But her last words were like, "Never give up the fight. Always continue to fight for your land." And she ended up dying. When we say that Canada and the Olympics are the ones that murdered her, because they're the ones that sent her to jail. They didn't have to send her to jail, but they wanted to make an example that if any people stand up and fight for rights, for Native rights, or fight against the Olympics, that they're going to do jail time. And right after that, her friend, a 78-year-old non-Native woman, was sentenced to 10 months in jail. She's 78 years old grandmother. So these are the type of things that need to be exposed about the Canadian government.
Beats from NYS.